Welcome to Duckpin TV's 2016 Championships. Tonight, we bring the finals of the team competition. We have two excellent teams going up against each other this evening. The team of Kyle Shaw, John Blaze, Josh Lowell, and Leo Montero will take on the team of Chris Castiglione, Mike Gennaro, Chris Louth, and Johnny Wilson. Eric, this has been a long weekend, grueling games, and some teams actually more than others. What are you looking for in tonight's finals match? What do you see as maybe the key moments of what could be a historic match for Duckpin TV? Something we haven't seen, something we haven't done yet. So this is new.
Yeah.
What do you see as the exciting moments that could possibly happen?
Well, you know, there's a couple of bowlers here who've already been on our broadcast in the individual events that shows you how well they've been bowling over the course of the tournament. Two of them, so that would be John Blaze and Josh Lowell.
Both Candleman bowlers.
Both Candleman bowlers. Really putting on quite a show in those events. And then we also had Mike Gennaro, who's on the opposing team Wilson Castiglione. Now that team, you got to point out, you know, it's sort of like the Cinderella story. They were 5-5 to qualify, kind of snuck in, and then have just been really gritty and grinded out win after win after win. For some reason, they only bowl five frames a game. I don't think that's going to cut it this time. I think you're going to need every bowler on the game, and that goes for both sides.
Yeah. There's only so many times you can make that comeback before you maybe run out of chances. But you never know. Maybe they just keep doing it.
Yeah.
We had a chance to talk with a bowler from each team, and here's what they had to say.
Well, we've made it so far. Well, ups, downs here and there. One guy's had a bad game, the other picks it up. We really haven't had a really bad team game yet. All of our sets have been really close together. So if we can just keep this going, I know we just had a little break. We'll see if it helps or not.
So basically, we're just here. I've been bowling bad, but the rest of the team's been good. Sticking together as a team, kind of just never saying that we're out of it. We've been down in the 6th frame every game, but we just battle back and keep chucking and hope for the best.
All right. I'd like to thank them both for taking the time to talk with us, and we're going to step away and be back with the 2016 Duckpin TV Finals Team Championship right after this message. Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are at Meadowbrook Lanes, and we are in the final round, the finals of the team championships for the 2016 Duckpin TV Championships. We have the team led by Kyle Shaw, and they are facing a team led by Johnny Wilson. And the first ball of the finals match, as you just saw, was a monster shot by Kyle Shaw to lead it off. I'm joined once again by Brian Ewing and Eric Lateska. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, whatever we're at. How you doing, guys?
Hey, you know what? Interesting observation. Kyle Shaw's shoulders, very confident. I just see something in his shoulders right now. Very, very confident. You saw that on his first ball there.
That was a destructive strike. I mean, 10 pins in the pit.
One of the things we have to pay attention to with Kyle is his performance on the left side of the alley. He has some... mentioned it in the last match. After the last match, he tends to struggle with his approach on the left-hand lane. So
Kyle, in the leadoff position, starts this team right, and I think that's a confidence builder and a momentum builder right out of the gate.
This team has previously faced the team of Castiglione.
Look at the English there. We get a strike, a backdoor.
It was actually the front door eventually because the pin came around, but it was a backdoor strike.
That's true.
In the 5th game of the qualifying series, we had 10-game qualifying. The team of Shaw and Wilson met up, and the team of Shaw was able to come out with a victory, but it was not an easy victory. The team of Castiglione and Gennaro and Wilson had a 160, a 143, a 146. As you see Mike Gennaro pick up his first spare. Johnny Wilson, unfortunately, with a 114 that game for a team total with handicap of 563. The Shaw team, Kyle with a 138, which is below his average. Johnny Blaze, who you just throw that front door, back door strike, came out with a 170. Josh Lowe with a 137, and Leo Montero, who's now the anchor man, had a 157 for a total with handicap of 602.
Oh!
The team of Shaw,
Wow.
Blaze, and Lowell right now is just putting down the hammer out of the gates. But if you've been paying attention over the last few weeks, this team made up of Castiglione, Ganero, Louth, and Wilson doesn't have any problem being behind.
Wow, we are, I think we're in for a treat here, guys. The pins are falling, pins are popping, bowlers are happy, excited. Very, it's a great match, great conclusion to this tournament here.
And the team of Montero now on the lane is receiving strike after strike, and they did start off the match down 19.
Oh my goodness, we almost
Because
just had.
we almost had
We almost just had 4 strikes, two
of which were
alternating regular, head pin hits.
It was
and then
awful.
backdoors.
So Shaw's team is giving 19 with the handicap. So as we start out the match, we will keep you up to date on the deficit for each box as much as we can. Clearly, starting off with 3 strikes and a spare gives you a chance to make up a few of those 19
4
right
for
away.
4, but Team Wilson, 3 out of 4.
So it's not a runaway by any stretch. And Johnny Wilson, who commented last week during his semifinal match, he threw his first mark, I think, of the tournament before the 5th frame. He's been having a real struggle early on, so a big spare for him to start the match.
Castiglione heavy on the head pin, 2 frames in a row. This time he gets a little bit of mix. Baby split 310. Oh.
So there's an instance where the ball, I don't think I saw anything wrong with Kyle's approach. His delivery was smooth. That's just a bad break.
Yeah.
Good ball.
So far, we've seen Kyle throw 2 balls. He looks steady. He looks.
Oh my goodness gracious! We have a little bit of something special going on right there with Chris Castiglione dumping one out of the pit.
Kyle maybe tries to do the same thing.
Didn't get
Pops
up.
The 5 pin doesn't come back.
So Kyle cleans up the wood. Big 10. 2 more of his teammates have a chance to throw doubles. Mike Ganero with a hammer 9.
Ball sounded a little dead, but it just was placed pretty heavy on the head pin and get some action to get down to the 7 pin. That's filling a spare for Mike.
John Blaze, one of the 2 candlepin bowlers on the team made up of Shaw and company. John Blaze and Josh Lowell both bowl both candlepins and duckpins.
Mike has the honors, I guess, or maybe the dishonor of missing the first mark we've seen so far. But we are really off to a roaring start here.
The pace is really, really fast here, guys. It's going to be key for all the bowlers not to get caught up in that pace and start to rush, right? When you get on the lane, you
got to
take a step
refocus.
back, refocus, and focus on that moment.
I think you'll see Chris Louth do that more than once. Chris has a tendency to really slow it down when the spot is big. He takes an extra little pause on the approach.
Chris filling a strike here in the hunt for a double. A little off balance, I think, on the release there, and not too far off the mark. Leaves the 4 horsemen.
See Josh Lowell on his strike. He got off the side. Both of them, slipped off the side of the head pin.
Both of them, continuing to fill the strike with their second ball here.
That's the fortunate part of both of these attempts. They still count. Ooh, dear.
Right, that's the danger, though, of hitting that head pin on the outside when you've got the 4 like that.
Went around the 4.
Yeah, much higher percentage.
Between the 1-2. So no blood there. We have 2 9 loads, and now both of them have a chance to convert for 10 boxes.
Chris cleans his up.
Josh will attempt to clear his, and a common theme of this tournament, as you've been listening throughout the weeks, what you're seeing right now in the finals are exactly what we talk about. There, you don't see a lot of pins left after the bowlers are done, regardless if it's a strike, spare, or a 10 box.
And that has been a factor in both matches. We haven't pointed out specific frames. Well, we haven't. There was three boxes.
3 box.
And both of our semifinal matches were close. I expect the same exact thing to be present here. This is going to be a close match. Extra pins are going to count, every single one of them. Right.
Well, if you think back to last week in that match, I mean, even though it didn't seem like it at the time because Jimmy was hot, the Catlow 3 box, if that's a 10 box, when it gets down to the final frame, Jimmy doesn't need 27, he'll need 20.
Yeah.
And that's a huge difference.
Right.
See Johnny clean up his 10, and again, keeping to the theme of not leaving anything on the deck. Leo misses a single. I'm sorry, that was his attempt at a 10. My bad. They're going a little faster than even I can keep up with right now.
Yeah, the pace is fast.
Frenetic. Kyle Shaw's locked in on lane 4. I tell you that right now.
Told you guys, he looks very, very confident right now, and his form looks perfect.
I think maybe he's been keeping something in reserve for us.
Been holding out on us, you think? Just get me to the finals. I'll lead you from there. So that was a very, very difficult break there for Castiglione on that shot.
Yikes.
That's
all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. Not a position any bowler likes to be in, knowing that maybe the best that they could get is a 7 out of a frame.
Yeah, if you get lucky, you maybe get an 8. Here we see John Blaze on a strike spare and counting another one.
Wow, look at that.
The young candlepin bowler is becoming quickly a duckpin bowler.
Having a little deja vu, guys. First frame, which was on lane 4. Kyle Shaw strike, John Blaze strike.
Josh Lowell threw a strike.
And third frame, we just saw the same thing, at least the first 2 times. Kyle Shaw strike, John Blaze strike. Josh Lowell, let's see if he can do it again.
For Team Shaw, you got to hope that they build up enough of a lead because if you're paying attention, they finish on lane 3. So,
like Guarnero, back-to-back missed singles.
Those are going to catch up to you.
After 2 really great first balls.
Yeah, throwing a really good first ball. He can't let that get to him. He's got to keep focused, and because he's got to know that his team is capable of coming back. They've done it over and over and over. This team has not given up throughout the entire tournament.
Every single time.
Absolutely.
Including the semifinal match where he threw a double in the late going.
Huge double. Huge double.
Maybe was the factor that that turned the tables.
It might have been the moment of the match in terms of exactly when he threw it and what it did at the time of the match.
Another textbook strike from Chris Lau.
Yeah,
that was
Chris.
About as,
Chris knew it when he threw it.
As impressive a strike as he got.
He kind of put his hands out like, just go down like you're supposed to because it's what you're.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? That was an unlikely spare from Josh Lowell.
Yeah, man, he got that pin spinning off the wall.
Incredibly. Johnny Wilson.
Another messenger.
2 marks in the first 3 boxes. Something. Is this the same Johnny Wilson?
Who is he? Maybe Johnny too, saving something for the final.
He's one of those bowlers we've been talking about who hasn't had a tremendously successful tournament on his own, but in the key spots, in the games that we watched throughout the 10-game qualifying and throughout the playoffs, he's been there in the 9th and 10th almost every game.
Yeah, Leo trying to close out the frame the same way that they closed out their first frame. 4 marks. 4 frames, 4 marks. Almost carried the strike there.
So Team Shaw 8 for 8 on lane 4. We have ourselves a barn burner. We've had some slobber knockers and some dog fights. This one here is a barn burner.
You know, Castiglione a little bit behind the pace that Team Shaw is setting, but not much.
Of all the bowlers on this team, he has been the catalyst in the 8th, 9th, and 10th throughout this tournament.
He's been solid throughout
been
his game,
very
too.
solid.
Oh my goodness.
If Kyle starts throwing strikes on lane 3, we're in big trouble here, boys and girls.
Yeah, here we go.
This is the best I've seen Kyle Shaw throw the ball in months, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Because he's a 150 average bowler. He's one of the best young bowlers to come along in quite some time. And
you know, guys, you put a ball in the pocket like that, you're baffled when the outcome isn't exactly what you just saw.
well, the way he throws the ball, I mean, those pins, you gotta think it's 9 or better.
Yeah.
You gotta think 9 or more.
Maybe
John
11,
Blaze,
12, or 13.
maybe
on a ball
yeah,
like
he
that.
might get some on the other lane as well. Now John Blaze is coming off another one of those balls that he just absolutely crushed the pocket. 10 pins gone before you can even blink your eyes.
Monero trying to rebound from back-to-back missed singles.
Little
And he
overthrow.
hits a single on this.
Little
on this first ball
overthrow.
here.
We saw him in the semifinals, though, do the exact same thing in the 9th frame and come back and make the spare. It was a big spot.
Exactly, yeah. I'm sure that's fresh in his memory.
He wasn't on a fill, and he made the spare. Not to be on this particular shot.
John Blaze, meanwhile,
Plugging
7
along.
fill on the first ball in the strike.
In the last match between these two teams, John Blaze led his team with a 170 game, and he's well on his way again. Despite the fact that Kyle is lighting it up top, John Blaze is certainly stepping up in that second position to keep his team well in the lead right now.
Chris Louth stepping up on the lane after a crushing strike on lane 3. Double would neutralize Shaw's.
Gets it a little bit of a break there.
Yeah, light on the head pin,
Yeah.
2, 4, 7. He wants to get to a 10.
Talked to Chris before the game about a little bit of his emotional outburst there in the semifinal match, and he basically said, "Well, it was a big moment." You know, I said, "Yeah," because I said, Usually you're kind of quiet." He goes, "That was a big moment. You know, it really
Yeah.
something to really get excited about."
And pretty far off on the mark on that one there for Chris, but
Yeah.
collects an 8 fill.
Again, we'll get back to that theme of just holding the wood. Josh Lowell knew it.
Yeah.
Knew he had that.
That ball was perfectly placed.
Yeah.
Chris Louth settles for 9, picks off the 2 pin.
Let's see if Johnny Wilson can take that double back. We had two opportunities for Johnny's team to take that double back that Kyle had thrown.
And Team Shaw looking to make it 8 in a row here. 8 marks in a row.
12 out of, actually 14 out of, how many? 10 out of 12 boxes. Monstrous start.
Oh.
Monstrous start for this team.
What a ball.
Clean on 3 and clean on 4.
Johnny Wilson, what a ball
Wilson,
that was.
9 hammer.
You know, we talk about still being early, but you know, Johnny Wilson's team, they have 1 mark in the 4th frame. They're down 35 pins. Kyle Shaw on the opposing side has
Plus
a double.
3, 4
And then there are
hits.
3 more marks
Right,
on
so
that
that's-
team.
That's
This
35 and 4.
This could turn into a 70-point game in just a box.
And we've seen Shaw's team in the matter of 2 boxes turn a deficit of 40
Shaw
into
on double
a
there.
lead of 30 or 40.
Missed opportunity there to really widen the gap and do some damage. Next
It's a-
ball counts.
Yes, it's a situation where Kyle's got to just take a deep breath and come back and make this load count right here.
What a response from Chris Castiglione.
So maybe this is the point where
Castiglione and Canero, Louth and Wilson turn this ship around.
This would be one frame earlier than we're
They
accustomed to
usually
seeing
start in the 6th box. That's where they usually start their bowling.
But by my estimation,
They need to
the
start
earlier
early.
the better.
Yeah.
Struggles are
Maybe
gonna
a little bit
continue
of an
here.
announcer's curse on Kyle there. I said he was throwing the ball really well. Tough frame. I'm going to say right now, this is the worst I've seen Mike throw the ball this weekend. The past couple of frames. He'll need to turn
John
it around
Blaze is
for
just-
sure as well.
John Blaze, makes up for the tough frame.
He's keeping.
That's 5 in a row for John Blaze.
John Blaze is keeping the pins on the deck. Well, let me just rephrase that. When he doesn't blast them off completely, all 10 of them, anytime he throws a ball that's not quite crushed, the pins are staying in motion and he's getting a lot of extra pins.
Oh, Mike Guarnero back-to-back 6 boxes.
Yeah, those are gonna definitely pile up.
Here is a moment, maybe a psychological moment that Mike can try to convince him, hey, it's a new half of the game.
Yeah, definitely 5 boxes to go. We got to think of the 5 ahead of you, not the 5 you just threw.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
that's as solid a 1-5 as you're going to see.
I think he just threw a tomahawk down there instead of a bowling ball. Chris Louth in that 1-2 pocket.
It's a favorable side for Chris. He throws that ball, turns it over to the right. Great attempt from
goodness.
Lowell on that. Awesome attempt.
He was not far at all from making that.
Very close.
Chris a little slow in that approach, and
He seems to take a little extra time once in a while, and I don't know if it throws him off or it's part of his regular repertoire, but it does seem like he stands there a little longer.
yeah, we've seen him do that a couple of times, and it has not.
The results haven't
appeared to
been
help
good.
him.
It doesn't mean it's the wrong thing, but it's just coincidentally
I'd rather-
hasn't worked for him.
I'd rather see a bowler take that moment before they do their step, their approach. Take your approach in rhythm.
Johnny Wilson, who's now marked 3 out of the first 4 boxes, which is completely out of character for this tournament, but not for him as a bowler in general. He's a darn good bowler.
Not at all. And he continues in that 1-2 pocket. Messenger off the wall, misses the 5-pin, but
Well, right now he has to because he's got to keep his team afloat. He's the only one that's really consistently marking.
Leo Montero isn't giving him an inch. One missed single, but other than that, all marks.
Johnny almost reacted like he missed it when he drilled it right up the face. So Wilson with 4 marks out of 5. Off to a great start. Picks up a mark on Montero, who misses the 4-pin.
This is still a pretty wide margin separating the two teams. It's in the 40s, if I'm not mistaken.
Each team even marks. No, we have an extra mark on the Castiglione side. So
Yeah, Team Castiglione, Team Wilson, they're going to need a little bit more out of their second and third bowlers. Mike Guarnero, 50 through 5.
yeah, right now I think, in my opinion, the key to this match is Gannero's got to step it up. In the 5th round of this tournament, Guarnero faced this team and threw a 143 game. He may not be able to get to that point in this game right now, but he needs to get somewhere near it.
Yeah, Johnny, Mike Guarnero, Chris Castiglione keeps going here. 9-1 on a strike.
See, it's the second time Kyle's thrown a relatively decent ball in lane 3 and left the 5-10, and this time he had an extra pin with it.
Kyle's going to leave an open up on the frame here and give Chris an opportunity to make up a little bit of ground.
Yeah, we've witnessed a complete momentum shift here from Team Shaw to Team Wilson in the past frame and a half or so. But John Blaze right now could turn the tide back in favor of Team Shaw with a double.
Right.
Here's a big moment for both of these bowlers. John Blaze
Throwing
filling
a very
strike.
nice ball right now and just totally in control. Two pins hit it from behind. Not one of them knocked it over.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mike Guinero here trying to right the ship.
Guinero's third single miss of this match.
A lot of frustration there. That was pretty close.
It's a chance for Blaze to continue his assault.
Yeah, Blaze
Deadly on that one.
perfect Dutch
Dutch doubles.
What do we got here? He's 100
Plus 110 plus in the
105.
sixth.
Spare every time on the left, strike every time on the right.
Mike gets his 10. Doing a good, I think, a good job this match of keeping his spirits as high as he can. He's not, other than a little bit of reaction.
Oh,
after
he's
the ball,
frustrated.
coming
Obviously,
back.
he's frustrated, but I don't think he's out of control. I think he's still more than capable of making a difference and having some impact on this outcome.
Sure, he's still throwing some good balls.
Absolutely.
Just a little off on the
He's
second ball.
thrown 3 or 4 balls that easily could have been strikes.
I see Josh Lowell really.
He's struggling to get. He was trying. The ball was already
pushing
out of
that
his
ball
hand.
out.
He was trying to get it back to the pocket.
Yeah.
It wasn't happening. Louth is needing to punch this one out. It's very difficult. Very difficult shot.
That time,
So,
Lowell.
a little
I
lull
see
here
this-
in the-
I see this from time to time out of Josh. I think he slides a little bit to the left, tips a little bit to the right, and misses wide right. He only gets to a 9 on that.
Throws his balance off a little bit at the line.
Johnny Wilson right now stepping up, looking for his 5th mark in his first 6 boxes, which absolutely necessary for his team to continue. And
Wilson
starting to make a run here.
Johnny has kept some in reserve for this exact moment. He is leading his team.
Absolutely. Johnny averaged 133 for the tournament, which I'm sure he would tell you is a little disappointing for him. But right now, he's not concerned about what happened in the first 10 or 12 games. He's concerned about what's going to happen in the next 4 boxes.
Yeah, Leo Montero throws a great ball right back at him. Real tight in the 1-2 pocket. Only gets 8, but a very makeable 2-pinner, and I would guess on his favorite side of the lane.
Yeah, you could tell from the body language that he was hanging on. So Shaw's team now, again, as we have said over and over, this team of Castiglione, Guinero, Louth, and Wilson, you can't count them out at any point in any match. They are, if nothing else, they don't give up.
Yeah.
And they've had several comeback victories.
They have just always kept a foot in the door. They have never let it close. And then from that point, just pried the door open and eventually walked through it.
Well, they kept themselves in the matches long enough to win at the end, and that's all you got to do.
Castiglione a little lucky on the mix there.
He has left a number of breaks shooting off the head pin. But the thing is that he's capitalized on most of those.
Yeah.
And that makes the difference.
And really, he's only missed a head pin. He's missed a head pin a reasonable number of times, a reasonable percentage of the times. But I have to agree, Brian, that may be a factor that we talk about in summary of the match. If the opposing team is missing on their missed head pins, not getting breaks like this could be a critical factor in the outcome of the match.
Yeah, I mean, I almost think of the first ball, like talking about golf previously, right? Your drive could be way in the woods, but if you can make a fantastic second shot, all right, it's a wash. Looks like you got a good score, because you did.
Yeah. And on the other side of that, you could throw a great first ball and then miss the green in regulation on your second shot by, maybe the analogy being missing a single.
Yeah. Or missing a 3-footer.
Yeah.
That was the first time on lane 4 that John Blaze did not strike. In fact, he left a pretty difficult split here. He'll have to try to convert.
6 load. He's got a makeable shot, but he's got to really throw a precise ball. And that was just too square on the 2-pin.
Punches one. He's going to end
big
his
spot.
hopes at a Dutch 200.
There's a big spot for Mike Gennaro.
He's just out of sorts.
Yeah. Shaking his hand. Maybe that came off his fingers. Didn't have it gripped properly.
Did notice that he threw the see-through Patriots ball and missed, and then he comes back with the. I don't think he has any rhyme or reason to that second ball. I think whatever ball happens to go into his hand, I don't think he thinks about it.
Yeah, that could be. And this is the exact moment that for Mike in the last match, semifinal match, that he threw his double.
Right. Right now, Josh Lowell needs to kind of right his ship. He's been a little bit off kilter the last couple boxes. Catches an extra pin there to give him a chance for a spare.
Chris, a couple off frames for him too. Trying to recover. And man, did he have some action on that one.
Pin that came across doing a lot of work, but leaves him with a 7.
Oh, Josh.
Lowell, just again, you guys talked about it earlier in this game. It's just his balance is off right now. He's not coming off the line in any kind of position to follow through.
Yeah, he's either forcing himself to rotate to catch himself in the balance. Chris Louth takes advantage of the opportunity.
Does that start the comeback? Is that the moment that sparks this team? Or is it the possibility of Johnny Wilson throwing a big double right here that really tightens up this match?
It's 23-pin difference, I think, so far in this match.
Oh, my goodness. Johnny Wilson in the hunt for a double there. Going to have to settle for the 9, but another great ball. Continues to be the leader on his team.
Yep. And that cuts the lead to 15.
Remember, we talked about the match that these two teams had earlier in our qualifying rounds. Johnny Wilson was 114 during that match, and this team lost by 39 pins.
Yes.
Right now, he's making all that up.
Oh,
Big make for Leo Montero.
Yeah, that could be really important there.
Big make for Leo.
You know, you cut for 2 on the left or the right side of the head pin. You generally don't assume that you're going to get a mark. It's
Nope.
It's a gift when you get it.
But I'll tell you right now, again, to predict again, this is a point in the game, in the match, in the finals, where the team of Shaw and Blaze and Lowell and Montero hold the lead. But Castiglione and Gennaro and Louth and Wilson have just been making comebacks from this point on in almost every match they've been in. So we'll see if they can continue that trend.
Well, it's a 20-pin game right now, and Team Castiglione.
Oh my goodness.
That was a grenade.
That may have been one of the best strikes we've witnessed this tournament.
That was perfect.
I think lane 3 needs 10 new pins. Kyle Shaw may have just broken 10 of them.
That was.
We saw a big bomb here, but third ball for Chris Castiglione here is almost even bigger, arguably.
Yeah, this could seriously put a hurt on their chances. A huge 10. Nice call again from Nostradamus Ewing.
And
Great call.
Answers the call, Chris Castiglione.
Now that's only a 10 bucks, but good Lord, what a difference between a 3 and a 10. We saw it with the last game in the semifinals last week.
And I really think, Brian, that you hit the nail on the head. That was incredibly important moment. Now it's a 20-pin differential about with even hits and plenty of real estate left out on the score sheet here.
You talked about Mike earlier in this match. His body language is just, he's a little down on himself. And I know he's trying to stay in there for his team, but he really needs to. If he can concentrate right here and drive these 5 pins off, it's going to be a huge boost for the guys following him up.
Yeah, especially with John Blaze being all but perfect through the previous 7 frames. He's really doing damage Oh.
He just doesn't get a good break.
Yeah, that ball is pretty much
That's
there.
a good attempt. I mean, John Blaze not one for missing many one-pinners. Again, referring back to his candlepin upbringing, candlepin bowlers are known for being sharp shooters, very precise on their second and third balls.
Yeah, Team Wilson trying to keep it together here. Not let this match get away from them. They've done such a good job climbing back into it. But they now find themselves down a hit.
Yeah, we talked about the momentum possibly shifting after that fourth frame when Team Shaw had 4 marks up there and didn't fill them as well as they could have. Team Wilson threw some marks in that fourth frame, but Team Shaw has stuck around, right? They had a big lead. They didn't let the lowering of that lead get to them at all. And they've held on and made it really, really difficult for Team Wilson here.
And as we see right now, Team Wilson is starting to pile up those red dots, which you don't want to see when you're throwing a good ball and not getting a good result.
That ball
Much
was
better
in
ball
there.
from Josh Lowell there. Still a little off balance, but much smoother at the line.
Yeah, this is a moment where you've got role players on your team. If your team Castiglione, there's 3 people capable of stepping up and trying to retain the progress that they have made up until this point by throwing a mark. And that would be Chris Louth, Johnny Wilson, and Chris Castiglione. And we're not seeing any one of them step up yet.
Not yet. Josh Lowell
maybe some unlucky breaks, but somebody's got to find the pocket.
Josh Lowell just stepped up for himself and his team right there, coming off of a few open boxes and making a single.
There's Leo.
Montero catches a break there on a ball off the side. Johnny Wilson right now throwing probably the game of the tournament for him. Lighten it up. I mean, every ball he's thrown has been absolutely crushed.
Yeah. Almost unfortunate that he can't carry this. He broke 9 a lot
easily
of
could have
times.
been a 4-bagger there.
This would be a different game. In fact, maybe even if he had had a couple of strikes fall his way.
Montero slides by a 2-pinner. This is getting interesting now.
Johnny, right on the mark.
So
maybe Johnny just wants to get home. You know, the only bowler participating right now from Maryland's.
he's the only one left.
He
The
knows,
last
he
man
knows
standing.
the better his score is, the sooner he's out of here, the sooner he can get on the road back home.
Yep.
He's got a long drive on a Sunday afternoon.
That drive is going to be a lot better if they come out champions. right,
Absolutely.
versus losing a close match in the final.
Here's Shaw trying to throw yet another double.
And he's off.
Leaves himself
he's off
a
the head pin there.
makeable spare, but did not throw the ball where he wanted to, obviously.
Big ball from Chris Castiglione there, flush in the pocket, 5-8.
Shaw ripping through the head pin. So again,
Only
here we
gets-
are in the
only
9th and
gets
10th.
7. He could have collected a couple more pins
Yeah.
for the fill on the strike here.
Big spot for Castiglione here.
Uh-oh.
Off to the side. This is unusual. He's usually the one that starts the process in the 9th and 10th, and he had an opportunity there to put a mark up top. And now we're starting to get to the point where we're running out of paper.
Yeah, grab 2 pins here for Chris. Well, he's gonna get one, but not what Team Wilson needed right there.
And here's John Blaze, who has a chance to really secure a very comfortable lead for his team. And you tell from the release, you rarely hear the ball hit when they throw it well. Both Josh and John, and that one he bounced it and did not get a good result.
That filling a spare, perhaps a moment for Mike Guarnero to get himself into the match.
Well, Guarnero's thrown a good enough first ball in this match. He just hasn't been able to convert the spares. He's had several opportunities at singles.
And again, guys, if Mike can convert,
And
which he
there's Mike
does,
Guarnero.
that makes
Calls
this
to the heavens.
This is a big shot, Brian. Again, you called it the last time. Let's see if you can come up with it.
7's a lot with that. But we did finally see Mike Guarnero
Chink in the armor a little, little light, a little
put 2
ray
balls
of hope.
together, get a mark, and get an opportunity to gain some ground. Chris Louth off to the right there. Got Josh Lowell filling a spare.
All right, I'm going to give Brian and Eric, both of you, a chance. We've got just a couple of boxes left. Give me the bowler. Who's going to step up right now? Who's going to make the difference in this final match? Who's your horse? Who do you got?
The one bowler out of 8.
Just pick one right now. I want to know who you think's going to take this thing home.
I think my pick has to be the guy who's been steady and strong the whole game. It's Johnny Wilson. If Team Wilson has a chance, I think we need 2 more marks out of him. I think he's going to go get him.
I'm going to go with. I'm sorry. I didn't even know you were going to answer. I'm sorry. I lost track of Brian. I'm sorry. My bad. Brian?
I'm going to say it's going to be John Blaze. He's looked good to me all weekends. I think he is going to make the right adjustment in that 10th frame after chopping through the head pin in the 9th. I think he's going to make his team's lead insurmountable.
So you heard it from Duckpin TV's excellent expert analyst. Someone named John is going to be a difference in this match.
Johnny Wilson, another great ball, filling a spare. He makes this a 15 and an 11 pin game and counting. His team trailing by 11. Oh my goodness.
Well, I was going to say Leo was
Well,
going to be the
you
difference,
can't
but
make your change now. One of the Johnnies is on board.
Johnny, 8 out of 9.
And super important, both anchor bowlers have marks in the 9th frame.
Big difference there. That shot from Leo was really a statement shot, though. An anchor man in the 9th laying down a bomb like that, setting himself up for a huge finish.
All right, guys, this is shaped up to be an incredible 10th frame, an incredible conclusion to a great tournament. We have a 15-pin difference between the 2 teams with 1 hit
in favor of the
in
leading.
favor of Team Shaw, and an advantage of 1 hit for Team Castiglione, Team Wilson.
So essentially,
so it's a single pin
difference.
if
That's
you
right.
assume an average fill.
Yes. And Castiglione with a valiant attempt at that spear. Kyle Shaw left himself a mess, but he's going to just barely miss. Very good attempts.
Shoot their splits well.
So now we're down to pins.
Chris covers his.
As does Kyle. So, not a spectacular game for Kyle Shaw at the 134 mark, but enough maybe to carry his team to the championship. We'll see. We've been waiting for Mike Guarnero the entire game to step up. Here's his chance right now to put something on the board. And again, that ball just slides off the side of the head pin. It's going to be a very
missed opportunity there. 19 pin difference before that ball. Only
gonna have to come
up to 17.
It's going to have to come up with something special on this ball. Otherwise, it might put Louth and or Johnny Wilson on doubles.
Oh, and Mike's going to have to collect some pins here. John Blaze is going to be able to confidently take the lanes.
And possibly make Brian Ewing correct once again.
Mike Guarnero concludes what was an excellent tournament for him. Maybe going to be the most decorated bowler out here.
Well, he came in second and second.
Second and second, potentially.
Can't say anything yet.
Yep.
If everything holds true as we speak. And there's another great ball from John Blaze, who was a chance to get into the 160s. The last time these teams met, he was at 170. Puts a lot less pressure on both Josh Lowell and the anchorman Leo Montero, and increasing the pressure on both Chris Louth and Johnny Wilson. And as he has done the entire day and throughout the tournament, just clean through the single.
So it's a 20-pin lead for Team Shaw. Right, Blaze puts 10 on it.
plus.
It's 30 pins. And Josh and Leo have a chance to put it away.
It is a 29-pin lead and a stellar 162 from John Blaze.
Yeah, he really on the mark for 10 consecutive.
Yeah,
games.
he really didn't have a bad box. He had a couple of balls just barely off the side, but he was definitely on mark.
Could not have timed one of the best tournaments of his tournament better.
It's Chris Louth in almost a must-strike situation.
Well, he throws.
Good ball, but not quite enough to drive out the 7-pin.
Well, he's certainly in a must-spare.
Oh, he has to make the
must-fill
spare. Yeah,
situation.
has to make the spare and hope that Josh Lowell doesn't match him. Because at this point, it almost puts Leo without a mark, able to close the game out. So Louth does his job. Now we'll see if Lowell can do anything to negate that last mark.
Louth has been clutch in these playoffs.
Josh light on the outside of the one. Outside of the one.
Been a trend for him this game. That particular ball, he got away with it. He got a couple extra pins to fall, but earlier in the match, he was finding that leave to be a very difficult spare leave. He's got a makeable one now.
A little extra follow through. Really,
He
square,
definitely
solid.
extended on that one. Went
Solid.
out after it. Absolutely. Very observant call on that, Eric.
Chris needs everything he can get.
Well, probably got a lot more than he thought when he let go of it. 7 load, but right now Josh Lowell has a chance to really put at least a nail in it. I don't know if he's going to finish the job, but he's got a chance to really secure a big lead.
And he matches Chris.
it, which is all he really needed to do.
So that's a 29-pin lead for Team Shaw.
So essentially, Leo just needs to throw the ball and keep it on the lane.
Yep. One
Wilson
pin on
has
his
to
first
throw.
ball, and
Wilson
it's over.
Yeah, Wilson has one option. 3 strikes. And probably not going to be good enough.
And he leaves the 7-10, which essentially seals the deal. We have our first Duckpin TV champions. That is the team of Kyle Shaw, Josh Lowell, John Blaze, and the man on the lane right now attempting to load his strike. That is Leo Montero. There's the exclamation point with a 9 load.
Leo having a lot of success on Duckpin TV as of late. Second place finisher in the Eastern Classic. And first ever Duckpin TV team champion.
Johnny Wilson finishes up a spectacular game in the 172 game. Just outstanding finishing match.
Yeah, what a tournament for those guys.
Montero ends it with a spare. Potential 150 game.
And you know what, guys? Team Shaw is going to end up winning this game by about 40 pins. A pretty big margin. But that does not tell the story of this game at all.
No, not at all. I think there were a lot of games like that over the course of the tournament, and maybe this is just...
Spectacular finish for Leo Montero and the team of Kyle Shaw. As Eric said, there were so many games throughout this tournament that if you don't watch and follow the whole game, you look at the final score, you don't know the whole story. Hopefully, watching this finals match, you'll understand that that's really what this sport's all about. The handicap system worked phenomenally throughout the tournament. We had several games that came down to the last ball, never mind the last box. And this match was just really exciting from start to finish.
Yeah, and
Last words?
We'll be back right after this to wrap it up, and we'll talk to the team champions as well.
right, guys. We are wrapping up the 2016 first inaugural Duckpin Championship. American Test out here with the winning team. Josh Wallace, John Place. Congratulations to you guys. Great tournament, great championship. So take us through the match. What did we say? It's sort of a roller coaster, right? You guys really got a good start.
They started gaining back, and then it was just a stalemate until the very end.
I would give it that ball work to being on the head, what is that? Side to side. We have marks. I think a big thing was Johnstone. Six marks in a row. So 12 for 200. Right. That's good. I mean, trying to get all your pins, make all your 10s. Whether balls like 5 bucks, if that's an opportunity, you get a 9 or 10 bucks, it's a 5 pins. So, yeah, big difference in making the spares. Yeah, fair game. Johnny on fire. All those 9 drops here, you're like, stay up.
Yeah, but you guys stay through and exciting show. Any thoughts about
Tournament, organized, like that, there. It was a good fun atmosphere.
I think it was, the next few years we'll get, a lot more teams and sees all of this. And we're like, oh, okay, why not? Give it a chance. Hopefully, for the next 5 years, we'll be up to in the South.
All right, well, that's very much 2016. Back next year to defend us. I think we're look out for next year and line up. Looking forward to that. That's a wrap for us. Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and please share these videos. Get them out to your friends. This is how we grow our sport. Thank you, everybody, and until we see you again.